The anti-graft agencies need to rise to the occasion, investigate and prosecute those indicted in the budget padding scandal. The president also needs to keep his promise and punish the civil servants involved in the padding of the budget. These are just some of the suggestions made by my guest, Femi Falana, SAN. What do you think? Please share your comments with us via any of our social media handles. But just before we go, let's quickly do a recap now of some of the top trending stories from the courts.
The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has declared as illegal the Senator Ahmed Makafi-led caretaker committee of the People's Democratic Party. Justice Okon Abang made the declaration in a ruling on an application filed by the Ali Modu Sheriff faction of the party. The Sheriff faction had filed an application on July 4th for an interlocutory injunction seeking to stop the National Convention of the party, which was planned by the Makafi faction and scheduled for August the 17th. The faction said it filed the suit for itself and on behalf of the Executive Committee and National Working Committee of the PDP. The plaintiffs had contended that by virtue of the PDP's constitution, they must remain in office until 2018. The Bayelsa State Governorship Election Tribunal has upheld the election of Mr. Seriki Dixon as governor. In its ruling on the petition filed by the APC and its governorship candidate, Mr. Timi Prince Silva, the tribunal held that the supplementary election that took place on January 9, 2016 was proper and valid. The APC in Bayelsa State had challenged the return of Governor Seriki Dixon in the election, saying the entire process was untidy. The party attributed Governor Dixon's victory to manipulation of results announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. And the suit seeking to stop the 2016 general elections of the Nigerian Bar Association has been struck out by an FCT High Court sitting in Abuja. Justice Olukayode Adeniyi held that the plaintiff, John Austin Unachukwu, lacked the locus to institute the suit owing to some uncertainties in his name and the documents he placed before the court. The plaintiff, a Lagos lawyer and the judicial editor of a newspaper, had asked the court to stop the elections on the grounds that the election committee had adopted to use what he called internet voting as opposed to electronic voting. He is also challenging his disqualification from contesting for the post of National Publicity Secretary of the NBA. But the court held that from the documents placed before it by the plaintiff and the NBA, the plaintiff cannot be the same person disqualified by the Electoral Committee, and there was no affidavit to link the difference in the names on the documents. With this ruling, the elections will go on as scheduled for the 30th and 31st of July. Away from the courts, the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, has risen from its quarterly National Executive Council meeting after discussing the challenges and prospects of the girl child in contemporary Nigerian society. The event, which was formally declared open by the Chief Judge of Bayelsa State, Justice Kate Abiri, deliberated on the protection of children not only in Nigeria but the world at large. Speaker after speaker explained the importance of the passage of the Child Rights Law and its benefits. Some called for the law to be more encompassing as they believe that the Nigerian child needs more protection. We round up with reports that the federal government has developed a national policy on prosecution as part of efforts to stem the tide of corruption through speedy trial of suspects. The Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, announced the new policy at a meeting of Attorney Generals in Abuja. The meeting was focused on how to improve the justice sector. Mr. Malami said that the adoption and implementation of the policy by state authorities will fast-track prosecutions. The minister also appealed to states to accept the federal government's vision of tackling corruption by establishing special anti-corruption units.
And this is where we end today's edition of the program. Don't forget that you can find these and past episodes of the program on our YouTube channel. Do also interact with us via email, Facebook, or Twitter. I'm Shola Shuyeli. Thank you for watching.